to Suwok Waterfall. This waterfall is located in the heartland of Korea, and it looks almost like the Skogafoss of Iceland. Now, currently the light is hitting the waterfall directly, so I have to make this shot very quickly. I've got my polarizer on with 6-stop ND filter, currently at 16mm. I'm gonna have to focus stack it, so I'm gonna first focus to the waterfall. ISO 100 f11 and 4 seconds. So shot 1. Then I'm gonna focus on the middle ground. Shot 2. And then to the foreground. So the initial idea is that there's a waterfall on the top of this shot, and the water is flowing down towards the foreground object, which is this rock shaped like almost like a curve towards the waterfall. And there's white foam made, so with long exposure this will be in white, almost like an anchor, acting as an anchor that leads your eyes towards the waterfall. So that's my initial shot right now.
This is the first image of the day. I really like this composition. From the foreground object to the waterfall, it's an easy image to read. Almost like a textbook example of a wide-angle shot. And I think when I visit this place again, and I will shoot the same composition again. The trees on the right top side of the corner were bare when I was shooting this image, but I plan to go back when things become greener.
So I've got my second composition framed up here, and this time the foreground object will be this intertwined roots, and behind this roots there are like forged rocks that leads towards the waterfall. So just like the previous image, I'm gonna focus stack it. So this time it's 8 seconds, ISO 100 f11. Focus to the waterfall, and that's shot 1. And then to these rocks. That's shot 2, and then finally the intertwined roots. Now this is something that I always do, is that when you make a series of focus stacking images, you always have to make one blank image, so that when you open it in Lightroom or Photoshop, you will know that these 3 images are one set of images. And this black image will show the separation between the sets and other sets. So yeah, I think this one looks good. By the way, I used a polarizer and 6-stop ND filter, so it's a long exposure shot, and it looks quite moody and nice. So here's the shot.
I was a little bit disappointed when I opened this image in Lightroom. I wanted to exaggerate the intertwined tree roots, but I think the angle doesn't really help. I should have lowered my camera a bit further and just excluded all the rocks in the middle so that there would only be tree roots and the waterfall. But it could just be my minimalist mind speaking, so please tell me, what do you think about this image? Could it have been better without the rocks in the middle? Or do you think it looks just fine? Please leave a comment below and share your thoughts.
So around this waterfall there are 2 places where you can shoot this. From the right and from the left. Now I just shot 2 images from the right side, and behind you there's a bridge that can go across this stream of water, and then that you can shoot from the left side. So that's where I'm gonna go now. And from the left side, there's a new perspective. So this waterfall is slightly towards the left side, so therefore I think I'm gonna be able to shoot some other interesting photos there. So let's try. So I've got my third composition ready, and I found this these zigzag shaped rocks here on the left side of the waterfall, and I think they can be an interesting foreground object. Now, even though they are not exactly, the patterns are not leading towards the waterfall, however, it can catch people's eyes still, and it's a very simple image. Like, there's something that catches people's eyes, which is the anchor, and then there's the waterfall, which is my main background subject. So it's gonna be a simple image. Now, it's pretty much the same as the last two images. So ISO 100 f11, 6 seconds, and I'm gonna focus first the waterfall, and then the middle of the frame, which is this rock, the tip of the rock, and then the foreground. So if this shot turns out as good as I think, then, well, here's the shot.
I think this shot turned out better than the previous image. It's much simpler and easier to read. I love the foreground as the patterns on the rock floor create interesting shadows and shapes. Of course, it could have been much better if the lines were leading towards the waterfall, but it is still interesting to see. Whilst I was filming myself, an old couple approached and started making photos of themselves. I could see that they wanted me to take some photos for them, so I asked them first if they needed my help. I shot some photos of them with their phone and had a short conversation. It was a brief but nice moment, talking to other people who appreciate the beauty of Mother Nature.
So I just made 3 shots, and oh, there's this water stream here going like that, and I wish I had brought my wellies. I didn't. I can see it's mossy, so it's very slippery, so I don't want to risk my knees or anything. Yeah, so I'll probably come back to this location when I bring my wellies, and when the weather condition is a little bit... Actually, today's weather condition is surprisingly good. The light is hitting the waterfall directly, so it's glowing white. It's beautiful. It's just, I was stupid enough to not bring my wellies. Again, it's like 3rd time, 4th time, I guess. So, but still, I think the photos look quite amazing. I really like these photos that I made today. Yeah. So, as I was going to go back to my car now, we found these small birds, and you know, you can't miss that chance, right? Can you? I mean, I've never seen these birds. Like, they're yellow and blue, and they're very colorful, and we don't have those birds in the place where I live. So, oh, there's one actually. So yeah, let's shoot some birds before we go.
Now, these 2 images are not my best shots, but documenting new birds that I see has become one of my hobbies recently, and it's really fun. There were a lot of gray wagtails, but only one brown dipper in the area, so I had a better chance to shoot these wagtails. Maybe when I go back to the location, I might be able to shoot the brown dipper too.
So we just finished shooting birds, and I got some shots of that colorful one, which you've already seen. But there was another one that I forgot the name. I believe Trond Westby once shot this bird, and Morten Hilmer as well. It's this blackish, brownish bird that lives in the near the water, and it flew right behind the waterfall into that cave, which is behind the waterfall. And we waited for a long time, but it's not coming out. So maybe it's building a nest or something. I don't know. I'm not a bird expert, but yeah. So anyways, guys, that's all for today, and thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. And don't forget to subscribe, please.